All right, say hi, guys. Hi, my name is Jacinda Gray, and I'm going to be doing a speech on the importance of breastfeeding. So, as a breastfeeding mother, I want to share the importance and as much information about it as possible, especially being that American mothers lack societal support and knowledge of the importance of breastfeeding. In the United States, there are around 67% of babies that rely on infant formula, which leaves about 33% of babies that receive breast milk along with formula or who are exclusively breastfed. Making the conscious choice to breastfeed is extremely important because it can reduce the mother's risk of breast and ovarian cancer, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and for babies, it protects against developing asthma, obesity, type 1 diabetes, and SIDS, which is sudden infant death syndrome, ear infections, and stomach bugs. And that is quoted from the CDC website. I have become very knowledgeable from my personal experience and with research before having my second child. When having my first child, I was very young, and society normalized formula feeding so much that that ended up being my first choice. And after formula feeding my first baby, I had to take him to the doctor multiple times, ER visits, because he was having breathing problems, a lot of congestion, which is due to the fact that formula has dairy in it, and dairy can cause congestion. So I decided to make the choice to take him off formula after being a month old, and I substituted it for an alkaline based infant milk, which has all clean ingredients and no milk. And after doing so, I noticed a drastic change in my son's health, and I didn't ever have to take him to the doctor again. His breathing got better, and he didn't have any more congestion. So I knew that that was a good choice to make, and that has something to do with it. So now that I had my second baby, I knew throughout my whole pregnancy that breastfeeding was going to be my number one choice this time around because it is the best thing for my baby. Today, I'll be informing you about why breastfeeding is the absolute best option for you both and your children, and I will discuss how it benefits women and how it benefits children in the long run and now, and how the effect that society has on mothers' decisions to breastfeed. The first topic that I'll speak about is how breastfeeding is important to women specifically. It's a fact that breastfeeding can reduce the risk of cancers, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure is less common among women who breastfeed, and this is possible because during breastfeeding, it reduces a woman's lifetime exposure to hormones like estrogen, which can promote breast cancer cell growth. And as for preventing high blood pressure while breastfeeding, high levels of oxytocin is released, which is the feel-good hormone. So now that I discussed the positive impacts of breastfeeding on women, I'll discuss the impacts that it has on babies. Breastfeeding is the number one best choice for babies. The human body is made to be able to nourish a child naturally, and by doing so, it prevents both long term and short term illnesses. Breastfeeding helps to prevent asthma, obesity, type 1 diabetes, SIDS, and inflammatory mediators signal the molecules and soluble receptors that go right into the baby's bloodstream. And that's how it prevents those sicknesses and illnesses from happening. And finally, I'll discuss society's influence on mothers' abilities and decisions to breastfeed. In today's times, it's been made completely normal for women, more specifically women with children, to work outside of the home, as well as men. And this alone plays a crucial role in why some women don't breastfeed, because not only do they have to work, their jobs don't provide the support for them to stay home and breastfeed. And if women were giving more time home from work and more support from society, I feel that the percentage of breastfed babies would significantly increase, and the percentages of the illnesses in women and children who don't breastfeed would decrease. Research shows that if 90% of families breastfed exclusively for 6 months, nearly 1,000 deaths among infants would be prevented each year. Breastfeeding also saves money, medical costs, and breastfed infants usually need fewer trips to the ER, fewer trips to the doctor, and fewer hospitalizations. Mothers who breastfeed also may not have to miss work as much because their children won't be as sick, and it's just better for the environment. However, as important as social norms are in the decision to initiate and continue breastfeeding, by relying on one network member to support them, mothers were often able to resist opposing norms of their social network and sustain breastfeeding efforts. So basically, as long as they have at least one person's support from the community, it made a drastic difference on mothers' decision to be able to breastfeed. So it's just important to have that support from the community. With this information, I hope I was able to demonstrate the true importance of breastfeeding and open up the minds of others to strongly consider breastfeeding, as important as it is for women and children, and can have a great impact on the children of our future.